Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to historic Harmon Field in Miamisburg, Ohio, for tonight's contest between the Warriors of Dayton Christian and the Lions of Miami Valley Christian Academy. Matt Baker here alongside my broadcast partner, Tyler Hodge, bringing you tonight's action on the Dayton Christian Warrior Network. Tyler, we see the battle tonight of two teams that come in 1-1 after first week losses. Now that each team has kind of evened up that record, get into the mind of the coaches on both sides, and what conversations do you think they had this week in practice?
Well, Matt, we'll start with Miami Valley Christian this week. They come in 1-1, like we said, and last week was a good win for them. They're coming off a win, and this week I think coaches are really focusing on building on those wins from last week. Not only the game win, but the little things that the team did from week one. Tremendous turnaround from the scores from both games. And coaches are just wanting to build on those little things with these players, especially a young team like Miami Valley Christian, where they're low in numbers a little bit, trying to build a program back, get the confidence in them enough to compete at a higher level as what the coach would want them to do.
Yeah, Dayton Christian started the year off with a 37-20 loss to Miami East, and then was able to bounce back after a back-and-forth game last week. Bethel Tate, now 0-2, lost 28-25 to the Dayton Christian Warriors. And I'll tell you, having been here last week, an exciting start and end to the game, kind of a crazy, wild one. There was long passes during punts that went over people's heads. There was 90-yard drives at the end of the game in order to get the win for Dayton Christian. So they're excited about what they could possibly do this week, knowing that they're going to have a tough test with the team that did allow them to get a W last year, and that was at Miami Valley Christian. Now, Miami Valley Christian lost their first game against a very tough 2-0 Grove City Christian team, 40-0, then came back against Claremont Northeastern with a 13-6 win. And the main play, the big play that kind of changed the game for them and finished the game in a win for Miami Valley was a pick six on the far side of the field, all by himself, running in for the touchdown. So exciting stuff. So as they come into this game, what do you think the keys are to this game for both Miami Valley and for Dayton Christian?
For Dayton Christian, believe they get back Brody Schmidt today. He was out last week due to a concussion. He's back this week, and being able to build on him returning, with the spread offense that they have, let him be able to get out there and sling it. But also bringing back in number 3, Hartman, kind of letting him play a little bit. I know you mentioned they may play 2 of them tonight just to give a break in the action. But being able to, they beat a good Bethel Tate team last week, and with the backup quarterback, nothing wrong with that by any means, but to have your starter back, to get your momentum going and run that offense with style would be something that Coach Hurst is looking forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. Excited to get Brody Schmidt back on the field. Had a good first game, even though they took the loss. Excited to get him back and help kind of cultivate, like you said, an offense that's new this year. They kind of got away from the wing tee that they've run for the last couple of years and more into a 4-wide spread by Coach Blevins. So exciting to see what Brody Schmidt's going to do along with the rest of the team today. So just touching base, you said some of those statistics. So let's talk a little bit about what they've been able to do so far. Our Warriors are right now averaging 292 yards per game. Most of that is coming through the air. They're passing for 469 yards total after having 133 rushing yards. So, 12.7 yards per catch versus 2.7 yards per run.
Yeah, and I think that's, hitting those click slants. That's one of those things, the run game, I think they really want to get it going tonight with Cutler. He's got 34 carries for 113 yards. I think last week he was able to pick it up some, was able to get more gains per yard last week. And to have that even balance between your passing and running attack has the defense respect you, so they aren't sitting back with their ears pinned back saying all they're going to do is pass or all they're going to do is run. Having that equal balance is going to be key for Dayton Christian tonight.
Yeah, I think they're just like you said. I think their interest is to get more balanced tonight. Coulter is definitely their bell cow. They're a guy that's going to tote the rock more than anybody else. We'll see what he can do on the ground. Miami Valley Christian, on the other hand, most of the information that we get has one name attached to it, and that is, and we might even butcher it. It's Artizone is what we're going to say. Yeah, AJ Artizone. So he's a running back. I think he also splits out at times to catch a few passes, but he a 5'11", 175 junior. He's definitely the guy to look for, number 8 on the field, and somebody that I'm sure will be calling his name, especially from the offensive side, more times than not for Miami Valley Christian Academy. So we appreciate everybody joining us this evening. We'll get started with the kickoff and the Star Spangled Banner here in just a minute as we see the stadium filling up. It's going to be a beautiful night for football. 6:45 is your time. It looks like we have about 4 minutes left until kickoff. So may getting us started a little bit early here. You never know. Game time temperature is 73 degrees, and nice little wind coming out here, I think, from our right to left here. It may play a factor in the kicking game just a little bit because as our papers are getting blown everywhere, it's something to kind of keep an eye on, especially as we get later into the game. All right, so looking a little bit at the season stats. Looks like, as you mentioned, Cam Hartman, the junior quarterback for the last, we'll say, game and a half, has 33 completions with 69 attempts for 428 yards. That's against Brody Schmidt prior to him getting injured in the first game, having 5 completions on 9 attempts for 24 yards. His completion rate is about 55% to about 50% for Mr. Hartman. 4 touchdowns. I think what's interesting is Cam, after Brody got hurt, comes in that very next series and just a couple passes in, throws an absolute dime to the corner of the end zone for a touchdown to build some immediate confidence. So I know if needed, Hartman would be willing to come back in. And like I said, Coach Hurst actually mentioned that it may be a 2-back system here at some point tonight.
Yeah, and that gives Coach confidence, especially having that backup quarterback that can play and can run the offense efficiently. Because beginning of the year, he didn't get probably as many snaps in the offense, but especially being able to step up like that is huge confidence builder for the coaches and the teammates that play with him.
And having played quarterback yourself, Tyler, so is there a time where you've come out of injury back onto the playing field and kind of give us some thought process of what Brody Schmidt may be thinking here as he starts tonight?
Being hurt from one game, being out, coming back, you can be a little gun shy a little bit, just trying to protect yourself as much, that mental awareness of protecting yourself. I know it was a concussion. There's not a whole lot you can do with that. It's just an accident. But being able to come out here with a fresh slate, not worrying about what happened in the first game. This is your season kickoff right here. Forget the first game, start it back here. And start with a bang. I believe Dayton Christian does get the ball first. So, if they can come out and establish that run and pass and get down the field and score.
Yeah, they will receive to start this game. And I think we're going to know a lot within that first series of kind of how Brody Schmidt. And if I'm the coach, is it true that you would think you're going to start off with something real slow, something real easy, single read, maybe a quick 5-yard out or something to give him some confidence right away?
Yeah, get him a couple quick passes to the outs or maybe a couple curls or maybe even just to get the kind of the nervousness out of him, maybe a little zone keep or something to where he can get up the field, maybe get hit a couple times and get that to shake off of him so he can settle in to the night.
And we did ask Coach Hurst, as the season has gotten started here with just a couple games in, what are some things that kind of stand out in your mind, things that you're recognizing as positives and negatives as the year's gotten on? And he said, the backup quarterback play he was really happy with, very positive. Whenever you can kind of hand the ball off to the next guy and you don't feel like there's that major drop in skill set or in intelligence, football intelligence, that's a great feeling, like you said, as a coach. The thing he focused on probably more than anything else is what he called a never quit attitude. Both games, there's been some times where they've been down. And even in the game where they lost to Miami East, I had pleasure watching that game. And there's no question, there was no quit in this team. Even though they're down 37-20 late into the fourth quarter, they were still giving everything they got. Last week was the same exact thing. Down twice, losing twice in that game. They got on the sideline. They kind of got themselves where they needed to be mentally, and then they were able to make that 90-yard drive to finish it up. So very happy about those things. The two things that he said that have to get better and have to get better a little bit quick is their alignments and penalties. So, it's the pre-snap penalties that you got to absolutely get rid of, because those are things that, sometimes you're going to get caught in motion and the cadence isn't going to be right. You got to take that. Every once in a while, alignment, of course, that's my bread and butter. That, not only as a lineman, but a lineman coach, that's where the game is won, no doubt, in the trenches. But you're going to get a holding call. It's going to happen. But when it's pre-snap and you have the ability to stop that before it ever gets started, that's what he was frustrated at. And then he said, honestly, kickoff return, believe it or not, one aspect of the game, 33% of the game is usually special teams. And he said kickoff return is something that has to get better. He's got to get better starting field position off of that kickoff return.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, kickoff, special teams, that's where most of your games are won and lost. A mistake here, a mistake there can cost you huge. And being able to have that confidence to have your returner return it, and your block team to be able to sustain a block and get we call it a lane up the field for your returners, will be huge. And vice versa, kickoff coverage, that's even bigger, getting in your lanes, making sure everybody stays in front of you and getting down and stopping the ball.
And just as a side note, isn't it, I don't know if I call it sad or not, but the game of football has changed quite a bit, and kickoffs are almost seen as taboo now. You don't get a lot of excitement in the kickoff anymore because concerns are, kids are getting hurt. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
After talking to Coach, Hurst about what was going well, what was things that they wanted to look at, we focused on his team and the leaders on that team. Number one is Caden Shepard, and number 5 on the program, but the first person he mentioned was Caden Shepard, his do-everything man. We could see it in the stats, the tackles, the yards for receiving. You had mentioned before that he was the leading receiver for the team. We'll talk about that, I'm sure, throughout the game. Number 2, Cameron Hartman, as well as a captain. Eli Queen, number 12, is a captain this year. Number 73, Jeff Knox, and also Jacob Coulter. We mentioned him already, number 4. So he feels very strongly about in his 5 leaders. Some young guys in there. The senior was Shepard as well. Excited about kind of seeing where they take this team. And that's the guys that you have to turn to when you are down by a score. And Caden Shepard mentioned it in our post-game interview with Bruce Horseman, who's running our camera tonight, that, there was a time where they were down by 10 points and, they just looked at each other, said, do your job. Let's get back in this and let's make this happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And, in practice, that's where it starts, with your backups taking practice serious. You never think that you're, I know when I was in that age, I always thought, well, nothing's ever going to happen. And then normally it usually happens. And then you're thrown into the game and wondering, what do I need to do? But focusing up, being mentally tough, looking at as when I was in school, they did scouting reports. Don't know if they still do that, but studying your opponent, that's majority of it. It's not the athletic ability. It's knowing where that person is going to be, knowing who to block. It will beat toughness, will beat athletic ability when the time comes.
Yeah, it doesn't do you any good if the play is meant to go to the right and you step to the left. Even if you're 6'6", 270 pounds, if you step to the wrong hole, it's not going to be a benefit to your team. So excited to see, again, those captains step up. We'll see them throughout the game, and I'm sure call their names, especially Caden Shepard. So speaking about Caden Shepard, let's talk a little bit about what he's been to this team. And when you look at the statistics, when you look at the things that are important for this team to be successful, honestly, I know Brody Schmidt's going to play a big role in that, but I really feel like it's probably going to start or end with Caden Shepard.
Yeah, I mean, that's his go-to. If it was me, if I was playing quarterback, I'd go to my most reliable person, and that's Caden Shepard. He's a senior. He's got the experience. He knows what to do. I mean, that's the reason why he has 201 yards receiving in 2 games. That's 100 yards a game. That's something you never really hear about much anymore. And if I was Brody, if I was the coach, I would just get Brody a couple of nice out routes, maybe a fade route, get him settled in, and feed into that machine that he is.
What's nice is the 100 yards per game is awesome.
Right.
3 scores.
Right.
He puts the ball across the end zone line, and that's very important. Also, one for Braden Biffle as well. The seniors has 8 receptions for 84 yards, averaging 10 yards a catch there with a long of 42. He also has a touchdown. Asa Crockett doing a great job. We are going to stop for just a second and respect our country and listen to the Star Spangled Banner. We'll be back on in just a moment. Father, we come
past year, we're grateful for this beautiful weather you've given us tonight. We praise you for everything that you've given us. Safe travel here. Let tonight be a great time of fellowship and sportsmanship tonight, Father. We pray for the Lions and the Warriors. There'll be no injuries, and everyone will be safe, and we will give you the glory for everything that's going to happen. Thank you for this opportunity of being here tonight. In your name we pray. Amen.
All right, we appreciate our canned band there, led by cameraman Bruce Horseman. We appreciate that. His conducting job, excellent as usual. So, talking little stats, we left off with a newcomer to the Dayton Christian Warrior football team, and that Asa Crockett, known around town for being a basketball guy, very well, liked and appreciated basketball guy, but decided to come out and play a little football this year, and is doing a great job already. 9 receptions, 141 yards, averaging 15 yards. And Coach Hurst, made no bones about it and said, I don't know that there's anybody that we are going to face all year that can stay with this young man with his size and speed combination and hands soft like cotton.
Yeah, I was going to say, during pregame, I was out looking, and the height on him, his wingspan, there's a reason why he plays basketball, but that being a receiver that way, that's a huge advantage there, and for the coach to tell you that, being your first year playing football, I mean, the skill set he must have to be able to get separation and get the ball.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit about the rushing side of things. So Jacob Coulter, as we said, is going to be the bell cow, 34 carries at 113 yards, averaging 3.3 yards with a long of 56. He has 3 touchdowns. There's 3 touchdowns total for the rushing for the year. So we know who's getting the ball and who we're going to count on.
Oh, yeah. I mean, for sure. You feed the horse, when he's running and he's ready, you just keep going at it. And he's the kind of player who wants to have the ball in his hands.
Absolutely.
When he's continuing grinding and gaining 3 to 4 yards a carry. I mean, why wouldn't you want the ball?
Yeah. Brody Schmidt does have 7 carries for 32 yards with an average of 4.6. So, like you said, it'll be interesting to see. It's almost like a little chess match in the coach's head. How much do you want to run, Brody? Do you want to get him back on the horse again real quick and just represent that he needs to take a hit and be okay with it? Or are you going to kind of protect him a little bit, let him pass, hand the ball off, tell him not to run unless he absolutely has to?
I think that's just kind of an in-game feel. You'll see how he's settling in. If he's got the anxious, the nervousness, maybe you let him settle in with a couple throws. If not, maybe you run him the first time, get that completely off.
Yeah, we'll see, and that'll be answered very quickly because, as we said, Dayton Christian will be receiving the first half kickoff. Coming up to the ball is number 10, and that kick is going to be to Caden Shepard. He gets it at the 27. He goes outside. He's able to get past the 40, 45, all the way through to the 50 on the Dayton Christian Warriors side of the field off of the kickoff. So immediately what Coach Hurst wanted, Coach Hurst got.
That's right. Getting a good return there. It was a little pooch kick, and Caden took it down and got as much as he could out of it.
That was Wrestler, the kicker and punter, a sophomore at 5'10", 175 for Miami Valley Christian Academy. as Dayton Christian gets ready and gets set for the first offensive snap. The defense set by Miami Valley Christian Academy looks like the nose guard is going to be number 50. Number 50, unfortunately, is not listed. Oh, yeah, he is. Malix Honing. So right up the middle, the sophomore. A lot of younger kids starting for Miami Valley Christian Academy. It seems like a small roster and young kids. As the snap goes to Brody Schmidt, we got our answer right away. He's going to go wide with the sweep to the right, makes a spin move, stays on his feet. He's going to get a first down on first down. Looks like an 11-yard gain. So, question answered right off the bat.
Yeah, I think he's okay right now. I think his nervousness is out of him, and he's ready to play.
And he wanted that ball. You could tell it was an immediate tuck and run called from the sideline, and he wanted to get his legs back out from or under him right away. Brody Schmidt in shotgun. The snap, the throw outside. That's going to be Crockett. Lowers his shoulder, goes for another 13, almost 15 yards. There's going to be another first down on first down. That's 2 plays and 2 first downs.
Yep, and Coach Hurst is getting Brody Schmidt settled in here, going to his weapon Crockett for another 12 to 15 yards.
Jacob Coulter is going to line up on the left-hand side of Brody Schmidt. You're in a 2-by-2 set. Caden Shepard's far left. Snap and Brody Schmidt fakes the pass, goes up the middle, bounces around just a little bit, gets to the outside. Far going to the edge, cuts back in, and that is a touchdown. Dayton Christian Warriors. A little delay on the call there, but hey, in the end, it's what we wanted. So Brody Schmidt with a fantastic play there. It looked like he was stopped for a minute, then he bounces it outside.
Yeah, he looked, the line collapsed down on him, but good vision. Good to see the cut back on Brody there and hit it to the right. And then did you see the shoulder he put down in the end zone to get it over the line? He's pumped up and ready to go.
Yeah, I think that was as much for him as anybody else. He wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to be an issue for him to come the rest of the game. And that's going to be up and good. That's Elliot Newton, the freshman kicker. And Coach Hurst is kind of high on this freshman. Really appreciates his effort coming out this year. Looking for a kicker, needed something as the summer went on. And this young man stepped up and comes and does his practice work and, puts the time in. And right now has been successful with 1 PAT.
Yeah, that's a huge position. That outside of, I don't think there's any other position that is most anxious and nervousness to be the place kicker, especially a freshman. To be able to have the calm, to be able to have the poise to come out and kick with confidence.
Yeah. So after just a little time expiring on the clock, we're already up 7-0. Dayton Christian will set to kick the ball off here. That should be Newton also with the kickoff duties. We're going to get some numbers for you here. Back for Miami Valley, number 24. And that is, it looks like Aiden Sestrunk. He's going to dot the I in the back there, and we'll get a couple more numbers depending on where this ball goes. It looks like number 2 also, Ben Conklin.
Is it number 11 or 7?
I'm going to go with 7 on that one. So let's say Lucas Live Easy. Oh, it's a pooch itself, and down immediately goes the Miami Valley Christian front line player. That's number 12 with the reception. That's Judah Walters.
Yeah, I think that might have been a little slip and getting too far underneath it. I don't think that was planned.
Gotcha.
But smart play by Miami Valley Christian just to catch it and drop down and take the safe and get the ball, what is it, at the 40-yard line?
40-yard line, and on your TV, we're going to go left to right. The offense of the Lions, 1-1 coming into this game after a win last week against Claremont Northeastern, where defense was the name of the game. And a fumble immediately, number 9 picks it up, and he's going to be dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to be a loss of 4 on the play. That's Frisbee. So he got the pass, and it just honestly dropped out of his hands. He recovered quickly, but then he's going to get put down. They're going to mark him down another 3, so it'll be 2nd and 13.
Yeah, the center, that thing came out of him like a bullet out of a gun. That thing was fast. I think he just needs to maybe just slow it down a little bit because I don't think the quarterback was exactly ready for that.
Now the snap, the handoff. Nice run up the middle. It's going to leave him 3 yards for a first down, so a nice second down run on that play.
Looked like number 8. I think it was your A.J. How'd you pronounce that last
We're going to
name?
go Artizone.
Artizone.
Artizone. So if there happens to be a Miami Valley Christian listener, you can text in at 513-655-7438. We're going to have a question of the game later on. So remember that number. We'll repeat it a few times. Trips to the right, single receiver to the left, ball back to Artizone, and actually the play is going to stop.
Looks like a false start.
Yep, false start against the Lions. That's going to move them back.
Just like you said, Coach Hirsch is focusing on those penalties. That's another one of those pre-alignment mistakes there.
Yeah, I wasn't able to catch up with the coach this week. I'm sure it was a busy week for him, but was able to, get some stats, kind of get an idea of where they're at right now. And the coach, has a nice staff around him, a beautiful facility there at Miami Valley Christian Academy, and glad to have him here the catch and release. That's going to be a first down to the 40-yard line.
Looks like number 4, Kyle Caldwell.
He's a sophomore. Again, another young kid, a sophomore, getting lots of playing time here in the third game of the season, first quarter, where it's 7-0 Dayton Christian Warriors with Miami Valley now on the move. 3-by-1 set. Frisbee gets the pass, the fake, the screen outside to the left. He's going to be taken out of bounds on the play. That's number 1, Jonah Christ.
Looked like a little wide receiver screen maybe, or coming from the opposite side of the field underneath the linebackers and just waited for him to clear, and nice little pass.
Seems like pressure is going to be needed here. Joe Jenkins is on the line. You've got Malachi as well. So let's see if either one of them can start getting a little bit of pressure. That's Malachi Puller, number 24. Frisbee in the shotgun to Artizone. He's going to be stopped immediately. In fact, he'll probably lose a yard on that play. Tack on the play by number 50. I believe that's Weldon.
58.
58. Yep, James Weldon.
Looks like we got Crockett coming in. Is he going to the other side of the defensive line?
Yeah, coming out of the game is number 11, Grayson Rodis. Grayson Rodis. And Crockett comes in as a third down specialist. He's very good off the edge, using his size and his speed. I'll be interested to see what he can do here. It's going to be 3rd and about 3, maybe a long 3, maybe 4. Artizone gets it. He's going to get the first down, and they're moving the chains. Yet another successful run by Artizone, and we said that's the name we're going to be calling most of the night.
Yeah, and it's just a little inside zone read. I believe the guard's cracking down on the nose guard, and he's just reading the cutback. And Dayton Christian's got to get some pressure down in the A gaps there.
Something that I'm sure the coaches saw in the setup for the week and watching film. The 4-by-3 look on defense for Dayton Christian. Open, almost intercepted off the hands of number 4. That was Caldwell, I believe. Yep.
And, I think Frisbee there, he's 5'9". He's doing a really good job getting the ball up, but I think he has to maneuver a little bit and got a little bit behind Caldwell there.
2nd down and 10. Ball rests on the 25-yard line. Successful first offensive drive here for the Lions. Frisbee steps back off of his back foot. It is knocked down. Kind of a combination of, looks like number 3 for, that would be Hartman for the Warriors, also helped out by Asa Crockett, who now jogs off the field as they reset for 3rd down and 10. Back onto the field is Grayson Rodis. So it looks like they're working some maybe nickel package when they know it's 3rd and long or a passing situation. The Lions come out in a 3-by-1 set, which has been their base for pretty much the whole time. Artizone is off to the left of the quarterback, which is Frisbee. The snap, he sets, looks to his right. The ball's going to sail over the head of the receiver. That's going to be 4th and 10. So we'll see what they're going to do here, as they had a successful run up until that 25-yard, and then they've had a tough go in this last 3 downs.
Yeah, I think they're in 4-down territory as we see Frisbee coming back out here with the play from the coach. Look like a little mix-up there with the receivers.
Yeah, I didn't see a receiver going to the sideline. I think, like you said, the 2 went to one spot, and he thought somebody was going to make a cut out. So Artizone to the right, Frisbee in the shotgun, single receiver to the right, number 24, 3 to the left. The snap, he looks to the left, Over the middle, long pass is over the head of number 1. That's going to be a turnover on down. So they tried to get the ball to Jonah Christ, but the ball does sail over his head. Now it's going to be Warrior ball as they get the ball at the 25-yard line, headed back right to left now.
Yeah, good stop for Dayton Christian. One of their things they had, that's a good play call. I mean, they had him on the inside, just the ball floated and sailed on the quarterback there.
So as Dayton Christian with a 7-0 lead comes back onto the field. What do you think the Miami Valley coaches have said to their team there on the sideline after they see the first offensive series, which is a setup of 2x2, single back to the left. Brody Schmidt with the snap, hands it off. Coulter up the middle. So after that first offensive series, if you're the Lions coach, what's the first thing you're saying to your team?
You got to get some pressure. You got to get penetration. I mean, the first series, Dayton Christian pushed around the defensive line of Miami Valley Christian, got a lot of movement up front. And I think Miami Valley Christian's telling them to get going.
2x2 here, single back to the right. Schmidt with the pass outside again to Crockett. He lowers his shoulder yet again. He keeps on running, trucking over 3 defenders, and a nice pass reception. And he's going to go down to the nearly 45-yard line of the Dayton Christian Warrior side of the field.
Well, there you go. There's a little taste of what we were talking about. Coach Hurst brought in, looked like Cam Hartman to throw that ball there. Maybe giving Brody a break. Don't know if he was lined up in a different position, but good ball.
Yeah, you said we might see both of them at some point in the game, and it looks like Hartman is now on the receiving end of the snaps. Looks like we have a flag on the play. Dead ball, personal foul against Dayton Christian. It's going to move them back 15 yards, so we'll try to see if we can get an idea. Maybe a little conversation after the play, maybe a little bumping. Didn't see anything from this side, but it doesn't matter at this point. Dayton Christian is back now. It's going to be second and looks like about 7 for a first down. So,
yeah, that's one of those things that wipes out a good play. You got to always be aware. You can't enthusiasm and being pumped up. You got to be careful. You can't take it too far. As we've seen last night in the NFL games, people were getting in trouble for that exact same thing. It's I was taught, don't say anything at all. Keep it quiet.
Second guy always gets caught. That's what
right.
I was taught. So trips to your left. Brody Schmidt is in the game. And this point, he is the inside receiver to the trips. Single receiver, that's Asa Crockett to the right. Cam Hartman gets ready to take the snap with Jacob Coulter to his left. He's going to get the handoff, finds a little tiny opening, maybe gets a yard at most. So it's going to be second as they reset the chains. It's going to be 2nd and 9.
Yeah, Dayton Christian's trying to get their running game established, but Miami Valley Christian's doing a pretty good job of clogging up the middle there. And I think that's one thing, like you said, the Miami Valley Christian coach probably talked about why his defense was getting a rest.
So we got a correction here. We're going to do the best we can with Artizoni.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's try to do the best we can for Mr. Artizoni, and we're going to be calling his name quite a bit. Again, Hartman this time lets loose a little bit. Receiver was double covered. That looks like it was Brody Schmidt as the receiver there.
Yeah, they getting him touches all over the place.
That's the confidence builder that you said he needed. Not only is he going to run the ball, he's going to throw the ball. He may even catch a ball here, and that's going to put him back in his mental state that he wanted probably to start the very first game of the season. It looks like trips left. Cam Hartman calling the protection up front. Asa Crockett to the right, who's had a couple catches already for probably over 25 yards in this early stage of the game. The sprint off to the right. The pass to Shepard. He makes a move. One man miss. A second man miss. Comes down at the 50-yard line. Nice catch and run by Caden Shepard.
That was a really good ball there by number 3, Cam Hartman. He came around. It's always hard for a right-handed quarterback to throw to your left side, but he squared his shoulders and threw a bullet right there to Shepard there.
And as a former quarterback, isn't it really that it's about squaring the shoulders before you try to release the ball?
You always are taught to get at least 6 or 7 yards of depth on your rollout so you have room to attack the line of scrimmage with your shoulders square so that the ball doesn't sail on you.
So Dayton Christian's got a little something going here as Hartman trips right, single receiver to the left. That's Shepard. Fakes it, gets ready on a little RPO to Braden Biffle, who stays on his feet even after the first attempted tackle and is able to lean forward for about a almost 4-yard gain. So it's going to be second and we'll say 7 here on the 47-yard line.
Good little play call there. Got to be a little careful next time. Line of scrimmage got a little close there, I think.
Yeah.
But good play.
Yeah, and he definitely threw it forward,
Yeah.
so that was the key.
Yeah.
This time, trips is to the left. That's Brody Schmidt, Braden Biffle, and Caden Shepard. Asa Crockett, your single receiver to the right. Hartman with the snap, sets his feet, fires. Brody Schmidt behind the back, catches it. He's going to release into the backfield. Goes down at the 5-yard line. That's just called athleticism, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, that is very good concentration. He could have taken his eyes off the ball, but a little bit behind him, but great catch.
And I know that the coaches are going to say this at some point in the week. That's what you get by putting him out at receiver. So now it's like, it's kind of
what do you do?
Yeah, it's the tale of two cities here. You could put him in the backfield, let him run a little bit, or you can put him at receiver, and he is absolutely a threat, as is Crockett, Shepard, Biffle as well. So Hartman, the general of the offense at this point, running down to the 5-yard line, did Schmidt. So the snap will come first and goal at the 5. Goes to Coulter. It fakes Hartman. He wants to take it in himself. He'll get just a couple yards there. He's going to go down at about the 3-yard line. So it'll be second and goal from the 3.
Yeah, good zone read there. Hartman, took that, read the defensive tackle or defensive end there, and good little gain there. Was it 2 or 3 yards there, I believe?
So it looks like the call come in from Brian Blevins, the assistant coach that is tasked with offensive play calls. It'll be fun, as Bruce can probably catch at some point in the game some of these hand motions that he does, everything from a little devil's horns to flapping his wings, all kinds of stuff. Coulter going in and bowls over 2 defenders. He's going to score. Second score of the quarter for Dayton Christian Warriors. So a nice drive put together by Cam Hartman.
Yeah, very good second series. And like you said, it's a little bit different. Being able to weigh the options. Do you put Brody Schmidt at receiver, or do you put Hartman at quarterback? And right now, to be honest with you, flowed pretty good there on the second series with Schmidt at receiver and Hartman at quarterback.
Did Elliott Newton is your kicker, the freshman, as we said. It's up, and it's good. So a 14-0 lead with 3:03 left in the first quarter. If you're Dayton Christian right now, Coach Hurst, along with Coach Kroger, Coach Troutman, Coach Bierman, as we said, Coach Blevin, Coach Crawley, Coach Pedro, Coach Robertson, the defensive coordinator, and Coach Gow, what are you talking about on the sideline if everything's going pretty well for you?
When when everything's going well, especially I remember my coaches told us to never get too high. When you get high and get not physically or mentally, obviously I'm talking about, but in your emotions, you get overconfident. Stay level, stay in the middle, stay grounded, stay key, stay focused, stay mentally tough, and continue growing and continue working on these nice drives that you have.
So as Dayton Christian lines up for their second kickoff of the first quarter, we said 3:03 left with a 14-0 lead. Miami Valley Christian, after having a 40-0 defeat in the first week against Grove City, I'm sure they're thinking to themselves, okay, let's put a long drive together. We don't want this thing to get too far away from us, especially in this first quarter. As Newton kicks off the catch outside, slips and goes down at the 30-yard line. So a nice return, also brought down by a nice play on the kickoff team. And number 7, now I just got a pronunciation for this one too.
What we got?
This one's a little harder, so I'm going to say Lie Veasley.
Lie Veasley.
And I apologize, young man, if we didn't get that correct. I promise we're trying our best here. Lie Veasley. So Lie Veasley with a nice return, getting it to the 30-yard line. Miami Valley Christian's going to come out This time in a 2x2 set with more of a tight end look this time. Artizoni with a nice pickup of the blitzer. Going down after a almost first down. They're going to look at the chains. They might be able to, might be able to move him forward.
That was a little different. Can't really decipher what that was. Just maybe a little break in the coverage there.
Yeah, Caldwell was able to bring that in and get a first down on first down. So, again, a 2x2 set. Artizoni in the backfield with Frisbee next to him as Frisbee calls either a play or protection to Artizoni. Quick pass, broken up on the play by Hess for the Dayton Christian Warriors. And Hess has been a wonderful addition to the Dayton Christian Warrior football team. Not only did he come in from, I believe, Kettering Alter, but just made himself a presence right away.
Yeah, I mean, he's the leading tackler on the Dayton Christian squad here, playing really good football the last 2 games.
Miami Valley, this time a couple receivers to the right and to the left. The run goes to Artizoni. He's brought down at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
Might even be a loss of 1 there, maybe.
Yeah, they did move it back just a little bit. So they look like a counter play. They pulled both the guard and the tackle, and Dayton Christian was able to sniff that out right away. Entering in the game for Dayton Christian, number 9, Liam Hartman, which is the younger brother of Cam Hartman.
See if Dayton Christian, we can get a stop here.
Looks like a screen, drops it in behind, but it's going to fall to the ground as Hess gets the bounce.
It was there. Just I think the was it meant for Artizoni there. I think he just got lost in the lineman. I think the
lost in the wash a little bit. Yep. So we're going to see the first punt for Miami Valley Christian Academy. Lions bring out their punt squad as Dayton Christian exchanges a few people as well. The punt is by number 50. Is that 57? Let's see here. 57, yes. 57 is. I don't have 57. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna trust that our friend that has been texting us so far,
maybe they know who that
has
is.
an updated roster.
Maybe he forgot his other jersey and he had to get I don't know. But good punt though. Really good punt. I mean, they were on their. Were they on their 30? Flip-flop field.
It did, actually. So flipping the field, and Dayton Christian's going to come out. That's actually going to be at the 22-yard line on your left hash as Dayton Christian brings the offense back out. It looks like Brody Schmidt will be taking the snaps. Cam Shepard to the left as well as Braden Biffle. 2 receivers to the right. Asa Crockett, your farthest out. Schmidt gets the snap, drops it into Braden Biffle. He's in the open space. He makes one person miss, and the ball comes loose. Fumble, and on the ground goes the ball. It looks like it's going to be recovered by the Lions. So the first turnover goes against the Dayton Christian Warriors, and the defense has to come back on the field in good field position.
Oh, yeah. That's the break Miami Valley Christian needed to get their back into this game, and I believe, who would you say that Biffle was?
Biffle,
I think he, as we talk about playing football, keep it high and tight and keep both hands around it. But
yeah, it looks like as he was kind of getting in the mix and putting his hand out there, somebody knocked it loose.
And helmet,
now we're going to go back to the Lions on offense. The snap. Artizoni tries to find a little opening, stays on his feet, but he's going to get just back to the line of scrimmage.
Good pursuit there by number, who was that, 12, Eli Queen. Yeah, he came cracking down. Good pursuit there.
Yeah, Eli Queen doing a great job at linebacker.
And I think Dayton Christian has caught on to the zone and counter plays that Miami Valley Christian has been going to. So let's see what we got on both sides.
The Lions set up in a 2x2 set, single running back behind. This time it's going to be a pass. Gets through the defender's hands and into the offensive player's hand. That's number 4. That's Caldwell, I believe, again. And I tell you, we've called his name quite a few times already.
Yeah, going back to that. It looks like just a quick hitch route, a hitch, and then you got a streak on the side. And he's put it in some tight windows the last couple times.
And Dayton Christian was right there.
Yeah.
It went through a defender's hand in order to get to the offensive player, which was Caldwell, who's doing a great job so far in this first quarter. 2-by-2 set again. Artesoni in the backfield. Frisbee ready for the snap. He gets it, steps back 3 feet, 4 feet, drops his hand and gets it out to number 1, but it's going to fall flat on the ground, and that's Jonah Christ. Running a nice route, just the ball was a little bit behind him.
Yeah, that was that play they ran a few series ago where he comes underneath the linebackers there and just a little bit too far out of his reach. He's quick, though. He got across there real fast.
We appreciate everybody that's joining us on our YouTube channel here at Dayton Christian Warrior Network. If you'd like, you can send us a text at 513-655-7438. Let us know where you're watching from. Make sure you can tell a friend as well. To the left and to the right are 2 receivers. Frisbee drops back with pressure on him from Asa Crockett. Ball's going to go out of bounds after Frisbee gets hit by Crockett as he's going down. He has a little something to say to the ref. I think he was thinking that might have been maybe one step too late, but they do let that play go. It's going to move the chains back towards the Dayton Christian Warriors. That's 4 and out. And that's going to be a first down on the 22-yard line. So actually the ball didn't move. Even after 4 plays, that ball was turned over at the 22 and stayed at the 22. Now we're going to go right to left as the Dayton Christian Warriors take the field on offense.
Yeah, good stop there by the Warriors defense. Bend but don't break, and they came through.
Now, we could talk about this more as a little bit more philosophical. It's a 2-by-2 look. Back on the field is Brody Schmidt to take the snap. He fakes the throw, goes right up the middle. He's hit hard and brought down at the line of scrimmage. So that is one thing about the spread offense. When you need to eat clock, sometimes that doesn't work to your favor if you're going to have a few incomplete passes.
Yeah, you always, with spread, I always has been a fan. I like the spread, but when it comes down to, trying to chew clock, put him under center, feed the running backs. That way you eliminate the concerns of a snap over the head, a fumble on the hand, anything in that nature, because like you said, it doesn't work always all the time.
And it looked like Artesoni was having a nice game, especially in those first couple runs. And then Dayton Christian did make an adjustment, it seems, and was able to bottle that running game up just a little bit there, especially at the end of the first quarter. So, you know what? Isn't it fun to have Christian companies that are willing to sponsor our network broadcast here?
Absolutely.
And one of them is our friends at A-Team Asphalt and Concrete. Is your asphalt or concrete cracked? Is it crumbling? Here's in need of an upgrade. Call the experts at the A-Team Asphalt and Concrete. Whether it's commercial or residential, big or small, our crew delivers quality craftsmanship that lasts from fresh asphalt paving to custom concrete. We do it all. Reliable, professional, and guaranteed to impress. Don't wait another season. Get your project started today with the A-Team Asphalt and Concrete. You can call them, Tyler, at 937-774-0019. You want to hear that number again?
Go ahead.
937-774-0019, and let us pave the way to something greater. That's our friends at A-Team Asphalt and Concrete. Caleb and his team do a great job, and they're good Christian believers. So we like to support our brothers and sisters that are in the business world that want to honor God with their business. We appreciate that. Second quarter starts with Dayton Christian in a 2nd down and 9. 2-by-2 set. Brody Schmidt's going to throw it out to Asa Crockett. 3 receptions already for Asa. This time he was able to get bottled up by number 80 on the play. Making the tackle was Wyatt McLean.
Yep, Wyatt McLean there. Good, kept the receiver in front of him. Good catch. And I think this is going to keep Miami Valley Christian on the defense because they don't know what kind of offense they're going to get ran at them.
Yeah, that was a nice play. He's been able to kind of bowl over the first 2 cornerbacks that went against him, and that gentleman made a nice play on that one. That time Schmidt opened it up. 1 tackle missed, a 2nd tackle. The 3rd one brings him down. That's McLean again, 2 tackles back-to-back. With a first down run goes Brody Schmidt. And, here we go again, Tale of Two Cities. What's he going to do? He's going to play receiver. He's going to play quarterback. When he plays quarterback, he runs. When he plays receiver, he scores touchdowns. I mean, what are you going to do with this young man?
That might be the secret weapon that Dayton Christian can have all year,
And that's why Coach Hurst gets paid the big bucks, right?
That's right.
So, trips to the left, single receiver to the right. That's Crockett. This time it's going to go to Jacob Coulter. He finds a nice opening, a good, nice 4-yard run there to start this series.
Tackled there by number 52, Leighton Reeves. But good 3 to 4 yard carry there.
So it's going to be 2nd and 6 as they line up at the 41-yard line. Again, Coach Blevins giving us a show with his motions from the sideline.
Mhm.
Whatever this play is going to do, it was probably called duck quack or something of that nature. So trips to the left, single receiver to the right. Brody Schmidt plants his foot, hits the right. Oh, in and out of the hands of Asa Crockett. A nice pass put right on the outside shoulder of him. Just couldn't bring it in on that one.
Good ball, good route. Sometimes you miss them, but very good route by Crockett on that. But, yeah, if you can see the coach down there giving his signals, we got a show down there too.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. Good times. So trips to the left, which is the wide side of the field. Single receiver, that's Asa Crockett to the right. Coulter lines up to the right of Brody Schmidt. He gets the snap. He's going to run it again. Makes one man miss. He's going to be brought down from behind. That's going to be a first down run, and he's going to go all the way down to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, they're running that zone keep, and he's doing a great job of reading the cutback. That's the key to that. Your line takes them all to the right, shields it off, and hit that cutback. He's doing a great job of that.
So, Tyler, of your vast experience in the football world, are you of the opinion if they don't stop it, you keep running it?
Yeah, you run it till they stop it, in my opinion.
2-by-2. Throws a quick pitch out to Kane Shepard, makes one man miss. Stiff arms the next one. He's going to go down at the 12-yard line. So that's a first down on first down. Nice play, nice pass by Brody Schmidt.
Looked like the ball came out there at the end, but the refs called him down. Miami Valley Christian was running back the other way.
Another first down, which has been a few of them in this particular drive. So as Dayton Christian sets up, Miami Valley a little bit back on their heels. On the 13-yard line, 1st and 10. Brody Schmidt receives the snap to Coulter. He weaves inside the defense. He's going to make a nice run there on first down, and that's like you said, Tyler, just keep them guessing a little bit.
That's right. You got to have them. You got to let them respect. They got to respect it because you're gaining 4 yards on the inside zone and you're gaining 8 to 10 yards on the zone keep there. So they have to always be prepared for whatever's coming.
Little note here for Dayton Christian. So Isaac Daga, their starting right tackle, who's a sophomore, never played football before this year, doing a great job. I want to note that he's been out there each of these first 3 games, really learning the game of football, but doing a nice job. As Brody Schmidt pulls away from one defender, he goes down. It's going to be close to another first down. Looking behind goes the ref.
Looks like a
tackle on the play is Jonah Christ.
Man, Miami Valley Christian's got to be a little – they got to break down. They had him in the backfield for a good loss, but you got to break down. And
they're going to say it's a first down, so it'll be 1st and goal. And here's the thing. If you're Miami Valley, they're doing a good job. They're staying in this. They're getting pinned back down again for the 3rd time. And honestly, they don't have a ton of guys on the sideline. So at this point, who they have is out there, and they're going to get tired here pretty quick if they have to play defense this long. Jacob Coulter with the run, stutter step, stops, keeps his legs turning, and has a little jump into the end zone for the touchdown.
Good run there by Coulter. Way to cap off a good drive, a good sustainable drive. How much time we eat up there on the clock, can't see over there. But good start to the second quarter.
So as Newton gets set up, 8:03 left in the second quarter. So like you said, a nice time drive there is Brody Schmidt with the hold. Newton with the kick, and that's good. So he's 3 for 3 on the PATs, and the Dayton Christian Warriors take a 21-0 lead, set up back for the kickoff. As Miami Valley Christian, again, great effort. We want to support both of these teams. The kids are trying real hard. My concern is both rosters are relatively small. So a single injury, a game that's, prolonged on the defensive side is going to be tough for both teams because they're just not built with multiple people to sub in.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the key, especially Miami Valley Christian as we see here. I mean, they have 8 to 9 guys over on the sideline, and their defense, whoever they got, and they're probably playing, a lot of them are playing both ways. So there's really no break. There's really no time to settle down and reset for a new series, But they're doing a great job keeping tough and just stay there.
So if you're Coach Kyle Gully, the head coach listed here for Miami Valley, you just brought your team over. What are you saying to them?
You know what? Telling them to keep going. They're doing good things. They're only a few little plays from being in this game. They had an opportunity to sack Schmidt in the backfield, a couple drop passes, couple botch coverages, and they're still in this.
Number 7 with another return, and he weaves his way in. He's getting some good yardage.
Mm-hmm.
Let's we're going to give this one more shot here, and at some point we're going to get it right. Last time we were close, I got Livesley.
So we got 2 different pronunciations.
Yeah, we're trying.
Okay.
We're trying Livesley. But that young man is doing a great job returning the ball, weaving in and out of some defensive traffic there. So I definitely want to appreciate his efforts as Miami Valley Christian comes out. The key here is you got to eat time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the score is important. Don't get me wrong. You need to get it in the end zone. But no matter what, you have to eat some clock right now. So trips right, single receiver to the left, Frisbee still in the backfield. Oh, they're going to stop this play before it gets started.
We got timeout.
There you go. Timeout for Dayton Christian. Timeout for Miami Valley Christian Academy. So as they take this timeout, Tyler, like we said, what's Miami Valley's coach, going to talk to them about here? Is there a certain alignment that they saw that they maybe, can take advantage of? What I also think is a little bit interesting as we list the coaches here for Miami Valley Christian Academy: Eric Trevino, John Souders, Corey Berlin, and John Reeves. I noticed they actually don't have somebody in the box next to us. So that's, it is a disadvantage if you can only see at the field level.
Right.
So I don't know if there's I don't know. Did you see someone pass us? No, Bruce says no. So, I think at this point that they got who they got, and that's who they can use from the sideline. And when you're a small school like Dayton Christian, like Miami Valley Christian Academy, it's a benefit that our coaching staff is really as large as it is. And it's a credit to Coach Hurst going out and recruiting the right coaches to get on this side of the ball. So the snap, unfortunately, almost goes over the head of Frisbee. He's now going to run in the backfield. He's going to be brought down for a considerable loss there, a good probably 6, maybe 7 yards, as a fumbled snap goes outside to the left hash now, and they'll reset with 2nd and 16.
Yeah, I think they seen that a little bit. That's why they called the timeout. But I think Dayton Christian knew they may have been a little, overloaded on one end. But also the snap, got him behind a couple steps. And when you're running those types of sweeps, it's got to be simultaneously.
And how many times as a coach do you draw it up perfect, but then the players are just human and it doesn't go the way you want it to? So that's going to be a false start. Off of the right-hand side, a receiver jumped a little early. So we're going to bring that ball back just another 5 yards, and they're going to reset there with the Miami Valley Christian offense holding back or heading in the wrong direction.
This is where we talked about pregame, the mental preparedness, yes, you're down 21. There's still a lot of game left. You have to do the little things right. You have to, this drive, you got to get some points, but you're putting yourselves too far behind the chains to make it harder on you.
With 7 minutes left in the second quarter, the screen comes. Artizoni gets the ball, but he's going to be met quickly by 3 Warrior defenders, led on that by Weldon, and it looks like number 12 for Dayton Christian, which would be Eli Queen, the sophomore linebacker, doing a great job, the field general.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, I saw a play, Eli Queen. I was on the sideline last week.
Mm-hmm.
This kid made an unbelievable play against Bethel Tate. Basically sliced through 3 linemen and made this tackle to hold this gentleman back from being able to get a first down on a 4th down play. That was just, it was, I told him, he came over the sideline, I said, you know why you made that play? Because you watched film this week.
Right.
You saw the setup, you knew what they were going to do, and you beat them to the spot.
Right.
This time the snap. Looks like a reverse pass, but he's going to be dropped in the backfield. On the blitz was number 7, Joe Jenkins. So he's going to take a tremendous loss on that one, probably upwards in the 13 to 14-yard loss. It's a 4th down. They're going to have to punt at this point. And if you're Dayton Christian, are you bringing the heat? Yeah, you're bringing the heat at this point.
Yeah. You got nothing to lose. You're going to get great field position, even if they do get a kickoff.
I see 57 again back there. I'm sure we'd love to give that young man credit, but unfortunately, we don't have him listed. So we're going to say that's Joe Smith. Joe Smith on the punt. And Joe Smith to the right. He kicks it almost blocked. Caden Shepard gets the ball, starts off to the right, weaves to the left. He's going to find some open area.
Flag.
Green grass still, but there's a flag on the play.
I think we may have got a block in the back there when he cut it back.
Yeah, Caden Shepard looked like he was starting to the right. He ended up cutting across to the left, and like you said, might have got somebody clipped in the process. So Joe Smith with a punt as best he could out of his own end zone. Holding against Dayton Christian. So that'll bring them back. Still, like you said, good field position. Unfortunately, not able to flip the field on that particular punt. It's a lot to expect from a high school young man. So now it's the 40-yard line of the Dayton Christian Warriors as they go left to right on your TV screen. We appreciate those of you that have joined us for this Dayton Christian Network broadcast as Dayton Christian comes back out. This time, Cam Hartman will lead the offense with Brody Schmidt back out to the receiver position.
See, what this is doing, what Coach Hurst and his coaching staff is doing is playing a mind game with the other coaches. You know, they don't know what they're going to get. You know, one thing that I recognized is that when Cam Hartman's out there, they are more attacking down the field on their passes. And when Brody Schmidt's in there, they're more running when he's in there.
So we have a correction. 57 is Hans Eriksson. Hans Eriksson, because he was listed as 44. He was originally listed as 44. So thank you to our friend Asa Crockett. Nice pass, nice play. It's going to be a first down pass and reception there.
Yeah, like I was saying, I mean, when Hartman's in there, they go down the field on their passes. You know, I think that, and by no fault of anybody, it's just two different types of games that each of these quarterbacks bring to the table.
Yeah, now if you are Dayton Christian's remaining opponents,
what do?
Yeah, exactly. You might be a little concerned, a little frustrated at who to prepare for. Brody Schmidt goes in. He gets the pop pass. He's going to go outside with lots of blocking in front of him, makes one man miss, and a tackle brings him down at the 5-yard line as Dayton Christian is starting to feel their oats just a little bit.
Yeah, they're gaining momentum. They're getting their confidence. They see anything now. Holding, you got a flag?
Yep, holding against Dayton Christian, so that's going to bring that good run back as Brody Schmidt hands the ball back to the referee, the umpire, and they're going to move Dayton Christian back.
Those are those little things like Coach was talking about in his pregame, you know, doing the pre-alignment, eliminating those penalties like that.
Yeah, Coach Hurst is not going to be happy when you have a 21-point lead and you're going in on a drive to take it in and go up 28-0, and you get a penalty that puts you back at the 35-yard line. So the snap this time will go to Cameron Hartman. Sets his feet, drops it out left. That's going to be to Coulter. Nice lowering his shoulder. He's going to get a bunch back on that play with leaving 6 yards till the next first down. The pass was nice. Yeah, that was a nice pass.
Nice little dump off. Cam Hartman read his reads and seen Cutler out there running around, and he lowered the shoulder, and kudos to that corner over there. He got low and hung on and brought him down.
Yeah. Again, we appreciate our update from our friend texting us. Number 57 is Hans Eriksson, so we will correct that in our program. That was your punter from the last possession for Miami Valley Christian Academy. Trips to the right, single receiver to the left. That's Caden Shepard. The fake, and now the look like almost like a little slip screen there. It was going to go to Brody Schmidt. Ball falls just a little bit short out of his hands, and it's going to be 3rd down and 7.
Looked like a defensive lineman down there got his hands up and tipped it a little bit and killed the momentum on it.
So they're going to stay in the trips to the right, single receiver to the left. The running back is to the left. That's Coulter. Snap goes to Cameron Hartman. Lots of pressure.
Oh.
He tries to do the same thing. That ball's going to go a little bit low that time. Lots of pressure on that one. I believe that's number 28 was listing there. 28 is Rickson Harrell.
And Hans Eckerson, is that how you pronounce the last name? He was in there as well, number 57.
Erickson. I'm going to go. Yeah,
yep.
We're going to go Erickson on that one. Let's see. Harrell is actually a freshman, a 5'8", 140 freshman. So, again, another young kid. Lots of youth on this team, which means that hopefully in these next couple of years, they'll put all that together for a lot of success. Hartman with a nice pass and catch. Bringing that down for the first down is Biffle, number 8, with an acrobatic catch, extension hands, brought it in, went to the ground, kept control of the ball. It's going to be a first down for the Dayton Christian Warriors.
Yeah, and one thing I noticed there by Hartman, he settled into the pocket. You know, it was a good pocket presence, and he stepped into that throw and delivered a strike.
Trips to the right, wide side of the field. Ball be snapped near the left hash. Hartman surveying the defense. He gets the snap. Coulter, unfortunately, is going to drop the ball. I believe he's able to. Nope.
Miami Valley get it?
Miami Valley's going to get the ball and head back the other way. So that's 2 lost fumbles for Dayton Christian Warriors. Now, I know Coach Hurst. I know him pretty well.
Yeah.
Something tells me
that'll be brought up.
It's going to be a conversation topic.
Might be a couple extra drills at practice next week.
I would almost count on that. Yes.
And I think, Miami Valley Christian did a good job. But both these fumbles came off of helmet on ball, and you're taught to tackle, you're taught to put your helmet on the ball or put your helmet to the ear side and just getting the luck of the draw, popping them out.
Frisbee back with a pass. That time it goes into the head of the back judge. Unfortunately intended for number 1. That was Jonah Christ.
He was there.
It was good. It was a good pass too.
There should be ways to be able to call flags on the umpires, for standing in the way.
Yeah, broken up also by Kai Millar as well. So a little dual work there by the Warriors and the referee. So as the defense gets set, Hess looks like Frisbee's able to get that ball off, but it's going to be brought down immediately by McQueen. And I'll tell you, I'm just more and more impressed with Eli McQueen. I'm telling you, that kid just understands the game of football. And I coached football for 12 years. And trust me, ladies and gentlemen, this kid gets it. He knows it.
He's the type of guy who, like you said, has studied film.
Yes.
He knows where these guys are going to be at before they even get there. And
he was. He was on that guy's shoulder before he even brought the ball in.
Yeah, absolutely. And those are the things you look for in a coach. You look for in your players is taking it seriously and studying up during the week.
Blitz by McQueen. Ball's going to go to Livesley. He brings the ball in, but he's going to go down. Not really much of a gain there, so it's going to be a 4th down. He'll even lose a yard.
Looks like we got something going on with the clock.
So the Warriors take a timeout here. And as we take a timeout, we appreciate those that have joined us here. Go ahead and text us where you're calling from. We'll have a question of the game here a little bit later. I'm sorry, text us where you're watching from. That number is 513-655-7438. Maybe you got something interesting to let us know about the Miami Valley Christian Academy Lions, or you're a Dayton Christian Warrior fan that's outside of this area and just wants to let us know where you're watching from. We ask you to pass that information on, that link, to someone else. We'd love to get as many people watching these fine young men on both sides of the ball whenever possible. Yes, please like and share the Dayton Christian Warrior channel and this broadcast to your friends and family.
Looks like they're adjusting the clock here. What did they put on there, 2 minutes?
2:05 is going to be your time left in the second quarter. 21-0 is your score. Dayton Christian Warriors up on defense right now as they get ready to punt. Do the Lions. This time Erickson with a nice punt. Very nice punt. Shepard making 2 people miss. Gets taken down by a third. A helmet comes off in the process. Now that was more of a flip the field sort of punt.
Yeah, that was a good punt coverage, and a good stick there by number 1, Jonah. What'd you say, Christie?
Christie, yeah.
Christie, is that what we're going with?
Yep, that's what we're going with, yeah.
And now all Miami Valley's got to do is get a stop, go into halftime, be able to make some adjustments.
Yes.
If you're Dayton Christian, I think you just, like you said, do you eat the clock or do you try to score quick because they get the ball at halftime?
No, Coach Hurst is going to try to score absolutely here. He's not happy with just eating clock. He's going to go in because, honestly, he should have 2 more scores.
Right, yeah.
He really should.
When you take the 2 fumbles away that were inside the 5-yard line.
2-by-2 look here. Hartman back as your quarterback. The snap. Tries to hand it off. The fake. It's going to go outside. That's Asa Crockett, but it was probably another foot outside of him.
Yeah, I don't think Crockett was the first read. I think they were looking for Schmidt down the center on the little seam route.
Seam route, yeah, that's what it looked like. Hartman's kind of upset at himself. He knows he missed that one, so he's going to reset the offense with Coulter back there with him. 2-by-2 look. Jeffrey Knox, your center, gets ready for the snap. This time it goes out to Coulter. He's in space, makes one man miss, but as 0 holds on, that's Desjardins. Yep. So Jeremiah Desjardins with the nice play and nice tackle as he brings down Coulter, the leading rusher for this game for Dayton Christian.
He did a good job. Those open field tackles, you have to be sure because he was the last man of defense.
30 seconds left 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the second quarter as they get ready to go into halftime with a 21-0 lead, try to add on to it. Hartman escapes pressure. He gets outside. It's going to be a first down.
Good hit there again by number 1, Jonah Christie, but good gain there by Hartman. Good feeling the pressure, getting out. Got to protect the ball, protect yourself. Good gain.
Yeah, I don't know if that was necessarily a screen or did the protection just break down?
It looked like it may have just broke down a little bit.
Gotcha. So this is 3-by-1. 3 receivers to the right, single receiver to the left. Coulter is to the right. Hartman and Coulter reset. The snap. The nice long pass. Ooh. Shepard making one man miss. He'll go into the end zone. Touchdown, Dayton Christian Warriors with 38 seconds left in the second quarter.
Good ball.
27-0 is your score with a extra point attempt coming by Newton.
That's one of them passes on a quarterback you got to be sure of because you had the safety coming over top and you had to put it on him in a hurry. Good ball, good route.
Slipped it underneath the safety, over top the cornerback. Honestly, a very, very nice pass.
Oh,
there. Yeah. Brady Schmidt holds. Newton will kick. The snap, the hold. It's up, and it's good. Nice job.
Good score, good play. All around, Dayton Christian feeling good about themselves right now.
Didn't I tell you that he wanted to score? Didn't I tell you he wanted to score before the halftime? He drew it up just that way. So Coach Hurst probably going into halftime saying what? What are the things that he's bringing to the attention of his team, even though they're up 28-0?
Hold the ball.
Yes.
Don't cover it up both points. Also, don't lose yourselves. You can when you're up 28-0, you can get lazy. You can get you're not paying attention. You think, oh, we can just tough it out. We don't have to do everything that we're supposed to be doing. But stay within yourselves. Stay concentrated. Stay mentally prepared. And you will finish the game better than you started.
Isn't that also when people get hurt?
Yes.
When you're going at maybe half or three-quarter speed, that's when you get hurt.
Yes, absolutely.
Dayton Christian lining up here for the kick. That'll be Newton again to kick, and number 24 to receive is Sistrunk. Livesley with another return, uses his blocker in front of him, gets another 7 yards based on that. So a nice return by number 7 as he's done this whole game long.
Looks like we got 31 seconds left. So be curious to see what Miami Valley Christian does here to see if they can get some points on the board before the half and then come back out and get the ball again. Be curious to see what they draw up.
Next week, the Middletown Madison host Dayton Christian Warriors. Right now, Middletown is listed as 0-2. They'll be playing tonight as well. So Dayton Christian will travel to Middletown Madison for 3 away games in a row.
Ooh, good play there.
Artizoni behind the line of scrimmage will be brought down by the defense.
Is that Crockett?
That and Rodas, I believe, also helping out on that.
Yep, good claps down on the run there, making the sure tackle.
Asa Crockett's another kid where, honestly, he's benefiting you on both sides of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He's a defender that can definitely pressure the quarterback. He also, with 5 seconds left, are they going to be able to get this one off? He does. The snap, the throw, Frisbee with a long pass. It's going to drop into the ground there. That was Brody Schmidt actually back in coverage. So not only does he play quarterback, he plays slot receiver. He holds for the extra points. Playing a little defense
safety,
now.
yeah.
Yeah, why not?
When he's that kind of athlete, you put him where he needs to be.
Yep, absolutely. So we're going to take a little break in the action here with halftime upon us. The score is 28-0 for the Dayton Christian Warriors. We'll be back here in just a little bit with your second half. All right, we're going to join you back with the broadcast for just a moment as we look at our youth teams out there doing a great job this year as Dayton Christian football is now into the youth league as well in the SWBL, so we're excited about that. I've got a friend here with me that's going to tell us a little bit about an event that's coming up here at Dayton Christian campus, and that is Taylor Kidd. Taylor Kidd is our strength and conditioning coach, so say hi to the people, Taylor.
Hi, how's it going?
I just want to touch base about the event that's coming up on Dayton Christian campus. It's a High Rocks event. So for people that are listening that are unfamiliar with what High Rocks is, can you explain what a High Rocks event actually is?
Yeah, High Rocks is very similar to what most people know as CrossFit. It's a functional fitness training regimen, and they do competitions as well. It involves running different functional movements such as, wall balls, sled push, sled pull, all kinds of things like that.
So now is High Rocks something that has been around for a long time? Is it something that's just now becoming popular? I mean, what's kind of the history of High Rocks?
It's really up and coming. CrossFit itself isn't too old. It's only been around a couple of decades, but High Rocks is very new. So there's only a few gyms locally. So Freedom Point is who actually we're going to be in conjunction with, and they're trying to get their business and gym going through Dayton. So.
We're excited that they've decided to join us, and Rob and his family are at Dayton Christian. Their daughters are at Dayton Christian, so we appreciate that. That's why they wanted to partner with us. So tell them a little bit about the registration process. How do they go through those things?
So the registration process, if you go to DaytonHighRocks.itsyourrace.com, it will take you straight to the page where you can register. You can see we have an about page. You can view our participants, and then you will be able to go to the event schedule. That's where it's going to give you the details of the registration description. We're going to have different heat times, which is basically just another word for waves. We'll have mixed relays where you can do 2 female and 2 male athletes in a team. There's individual women, individual pro women, men and pro men, as well as High Rocks doubles and a youngster division, which is for our kids. So whether you are experienced in High Rocks, which really is just if you're actively training for it, you can do pro, which is a little bit more competitive. Or if you just want to come do this for fun, do it as a team with some partners, then you can just do the normal individual or doubles heats, and then you can just have a good time.
Yeah, so let me explain that and make sure everybody understands. What if you're somewhat fit? You try to keep yourself maybe a little bit of shape, do a little lifting, but maybe you're just not real confident about 8 full movements and something like that. Give them the versions again that would allow others to be a part of their team.
Yeah, so High Rocks mixed relay, for example, it could be 2 female and 2 male athletes would compete in a team. So let's say if you got a sister, a brother, or if you want to go you and your spouse with another spouse, another married couple, you could go do the mixed relay, or you can go with a pro doubles, which is the professional version. If you are trained up, you can go with a partner, and then we have normal doubles as well. So
if you are ranking the hardest movement of, I believe, the 8, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
What, in your opinion, is that hardest movement? What would have to be trained for first and foremost?
If you are cardiovascular fit, right? So if you're running quite a bit, the running, it will be 1,000 meters every time you run. So that would be challenging if you're not used to running. If you're good on the running, really the sled push can be pretty challenging. Some sled push and pull, which is will have in pro 2 45-pound plates on a sled, and you'll be pulling that for a certain distance as well as pushing it.
So Freedom Point CrossFit has partnered with us. What's the benefit to Dayton Christian?
So all proceeds we're going to go to the Genesis 7 campaign, which is currently going towards our new building and our athletic facilities, as well as potentially a new stadium. And so all proceeds will go to that. And then they will obviously get advertisement from it as well for their gym.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. We appreciate the fact that they're willing to take those proceeds and put it towards Genesis 7 as well. As Taylor already said, the Genesis 7, we actually broke ground this week on the MPC, the multi-purpose center, which will house an additional basketball court, a new weight room, which would be a nice little home for you and the other athletes. Taylor does a great job helping us out, conditioning our athletes, working with our athletes in the weight room. And tell them, just while everybody's listening, a little bit about our partnership with AIA and that they work with you as well.
Yeah, so Athletes in Action, we recently have partnered with them. We got a few of their strength coaches come. One of their strength coaches is here about 3 days a week. Their head of their strength conditioning team actually is a former he's a Super Bowl winning strength coach. with the Ravens and previously worked with the Bengals. They've been super awesome. A lot of knowledge has been brought to it. They're holding a class that their kids are currently enrolled in for 7th and 8th period. They will be going through strength training, different conditioning, speed and agility, as well as a spiritual talk.
Okay, and I thank you for taking the time and explaining what High Rocks is. Can you give them that website one more time in case they want to get some more information, especially while we're still at halftime? They might be able to look it up.
Yep, if you want to go to DaytonHighRocks.itsyourrace.com, that'll bring you right there.
So the most important question I have for you is you have to give me one answer. Who is your favorite in-law? Your father-in-law or your mother-in-law?
Oh, man, I think if I'm going to choose to survive another day, I'm just going to go neutral on that one.
Okay. Well, I'm sure I can play that back for him at church on Sunday. So we appreciate it. Taylor, again, does a great job for us, helps our kids out at Dayton Christian. We're blessed to have him for the last couple of years. And we thank you for your time tonight, Taylor. And we'll be hopefully at that event making people happy about being there and also making a little money for Dayton Christian.
Looking forward to see you there.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for working with us during halftime. Got to see a few of the kids at the Dayton Christian Youth Football League, as well as the middle school team as well. Also got to hear about the High Rocks event. Taylor Kidd doing a great job explaining what that is and how Freedom Point CrossFit is joining with us to support the Genesis 7 project. But let's talk a little football now, Tyler. So you've got a half under your belt. You're Dayton Christian. You're 1-1 right now. 28-0 is your score. Right now, you're feeling pretty good, except for the 2 fumbles, probably. So what's the conversation that Coach Hurst is having in the locker room right now?
You know, many things are going well for Dayton Christian. You know, their offense is doing well with a little bit of, a couple penalties. Defense is doing really well. After the first series, they did some adjustments. But I think Coach Hurst is just telling them to focus up, eliminate the mishaps, the fumbles, the pre-snap penalties, and keep doing what they're doing, but build on it as well. Don't get lazy. Don't get, overconfident. Do what you were supposed to do. Trust in your coaches, and everything will be all right.
I would say, not to bring a dark tone into it, but there's some people that would say keep your foot on the gas or keep your foot on the throat. It can't be a let up at this point. That's why, like we said, when you get injuries, you get some concerns that are going. You have fumbles, you start to ruin stats and things like that. If you're up 28-0, you want to finish strong. Okay, so on the flip side, you're across the way in the coaches' room of the Miami Valley Christian Academy coaches. You've got a smaller team. You don't have a lot of people to pull off the bench. You're down 28-0. You've played a lot of your time on defense. What can you get out of this game? What are the chances that you're going to feel like something productive has happened for you in the second half?
Miami Valley Christian coming out, they get the ball, I do believe,
Yep.
And if I was their coach, we got to focus on this series. We need to put a good drive together, put some points on the board, calm down, even though it's 28-0, this is a new half, it's a fresh slate. Let's start fresh. Let's start building on some things that we did well. Just like Dayton Christian, keep the pedal down, but doing the things that can continue to grow you for the next. Not saying you're thinking about next week, but to build on for the following game.
Absolutely. I mean, whether, they come out of this one with, a couple scores, trying to come back in this game, maybe Dayton Christian is able to put this game a little further out, depending on how their first couple series go. You do have to build momentum going into that next week. Absolutely. I think it's very important that you can come out of this game with a successful second half, which then is going to go into your next week of play. And, could affect a tremendous amount of what your next couple weeks look like. In fact, as we look for Wilmington Christian Academy's next couple weeks, they are going to be taking on Notre Dame, 2-0 right now, which is a D7 team. And then Summit Country Day at 1-1. They'll go into Fayetteville. This is more into their league play now. So Summit Country Day, Fayetteville, Cincinnati Country Day, Lockland, St. Bernard, and then New Miami. A common opponent between the two of them for the remainder of the year is New Miami. New Miami, having already played on a Thursday night, actually won against Stivers. So New Miami right now is 1-2. I'm sorry, having lost to Manchester and Gamble Montessori. So you got to build into your next week or so and figure out if this one's not going to go your way, what can you still get out of it?
Right. And you got a good team, and the morale, you got to continue to build, and continue to have that enthusiasm that comes with the game and not getting down, because what's going to happen is that you'd be shocked how many teams allow a game like this to affect them for 1 to 2 weeks,
right.
And to have that as what we call a flashback. Oh, well, this is getting a little taste. Like they may be saying this is a little taste of what we got when we played Grove City Christian. But you have to learn to forget about it. And like you said, they're a young team, a lot of maturing still probably that needs to continue. Same with both teams, but learning to just play ball and do what you're supposed to be doing.
And don't make a bad thing worse.
Right.
If it's not going the way you want to go in this second half, that's okay. Then just make sure that you get something out of it and move on if that's the case. So just running through the rest of the schedule for Dayton Christian, New Miami, Middletown Madison, then New Miami, Waynesville. Again, those 3 away games in a row. Cincinnati College Prep will be the homecoming game this year. That'll be played here at Harmon Stadium on 10-3. Then Gamble Montessori, Worthington Christian, and then Thorogood Marshall will finish out the year as the 10th game against the Thorogood Marshall, which is a D4 school, a little bit bigger, but at this point 0-2, and we'll see what they do this week. So Dayton Christian, if you're finishing strong here, you want to put a couple more scores on the board, and then even though your team is not real deep when it comes to extra players, you want to make sure that everybody gets a touch or so, especially as this second half maybe goes your way.
Right, and and I believe both Coach Hurst has that on his mind. Maybe get a quick score, get a good stop on defense, maybe substitute out some younger players, because also you got to be thinking about the next week's game. You already have a quarterback who has been out a week. Maybe take him out, maybe give him some less reps, work on some younger kids, and build on them, because you never know when they'll be thrown into the game.
Yeah, I would like to see, and I believe we will see if things go the right way, Liam Hartman. And I want to compliment both the Hartman boys. It's interesting. I saw them pretty much every day. So we have a gym, and I have the ability to lift there, and a lot of times all through the spring, all through the summer, as those two young men in particular would lift, they would always grab a football out of the cabinet, go into the quad area, and go through a passing routine. And I just thought that was awesome. I thought a lot of respect for that. Wasn't sure if necessarily that one of them was going to start. They just wanted to be prepared. And when in game one, Cam, the older one of the two, had to step up and be the quarterback for not only that game, but for the game two as well.
And that's one thing as a coach you like to see is your players working on their, we call craft, without them, forcing the hand or being at practice. They want to do it.
Looks like a version of an onside kick there did get into the hands and out of the hands, but recovered by number 70. Yep. So number 70 is Zach Holland, with one of the most plainest names of the list. We appreciate Mr. Holland being just as easy like Sunday morning. So we appreciate that, old Zach. So let's see what the second half can do for the Lions. After a conversation at halftime, they're going to set up 1st and 10 from the 40. A little bit different look here offensively. So a little bit tighter. So the snap, the run is Frisbee. Or no, is that Artizzoni?
I don't know. That might be their backup.
No, let's see. Let's see who's got the ball here.
Will Cameron, maybe? Number 11.
Number 11. Okay. So a little direct snap.
A little different play call. They're switching their quarterbacks up, too.
They are,
They pay attention here.
Will Cameron, nice successful run as you went with like a single wing set there. 3 blockers in front. Looks like they're going to do something similar to the left-hand side. That's McLean on the outside to block as well. Direct snap. He's going to run as well with the opening. He stutter steps, and that's going to be a first down run for Cameron.
Yeah, they're doing a overload, offset to the left. Extra lineman on the left side. Last time it was the right. And got them like a full house, like almost in front of him almost.
Believe it or not, I have seen this before. I know that you're going to think I'm crazy, but I actually coached against a team called Bishop Reedy. We had some success in the coaching world where I was at, which was North College Hill High School. And Bishop Reedy, the second half, came out in a very similar set. A gentleman named Pax Abbott in the backfield, big old hoss. And they ran pretty much this same thing. Now, this time it's a pass, but he's going to be pulled down on the play.
Number 6.
Number 6 for the Dayton Christian Warriors.
I'll let you pronounce that name first.
Oh, that's Kai Millar.
There you go.
Absolutely. That's Kai Millar doing a great job bringing down in the backfield for a big loss on that play. Second down, and the ball's going to rest at the 45-yard line, closest to your left hash.
Now they break out of it.
Yeah, back into the spread look. 3 receivers to the left, single receiver to the right. Cameron with a snap. Nope, that's back to that he got the ball, so that's back to Frisbee as your quarterback. So maybe Cameron was the single wing and, maybe the runner. They gave it a couple goes there, and then as he drops back and takes the loss, Frisbee's back in the backfield again.
Yeah, I think that was deflected by Cam Hartman there. And honestly, I thought it may have fallen. Did it fall on the hand of a lineman? Or was it old Jonah or number? Oh, okay. Gotcha. Number 4, Kyle Caldwell.
Yeah. Trips to the left, single receiver to the right. What started out as a productive series with this catch on the outside, making one man miss, being brought down by Millar again. Actually slips that tackle, gets closer to the original line of scrimmage. He's still going to fall a little bit short. It's going to be 4th down and about 13.
Good effort there. Good effort, being able to slip out of that tackle and then gain an extra almost 5-6 yards.
So they're going to count him up for the punt. That's Hans Eriksson. Off to his right a little bit, and the kick.
Sky high.
No doubt. So get away from that. Nice bounce for the Lions. That's going to come all the way down at the 14-yard line. Every time I say Hans Eriksson, I want to say Jovola or some sort of,
Hans Solo.
Yeah, or some Swedish response or something like that. So great kick and a wonderful bounce for the Lions. So honestly, a little bit of time, a couple first downs, or at least a first down, and then a few plays after that. So maybe not exactly what they wanted, but definitely more productive than a few other of the series that they had. So if that's the way they started off, hopefully they can build on that, have some success in the second half. Dayton Christian wanting the same thing. They're bringing Brody Schmidt back out as the quarterback into the second half. Trips to the right, single receiver to the left. That's Caden Shepard. The call for the ball comes from Schmidt. The snap, the throw, and a nice one down the seam, and taking off is Brayton Biffle. He's leaving everybody in the dust to the 20, to the 10. He's going to cross the goal line. What a fantastic play. A seam route for about, no flags on the play. Good deal. Yeah, for about, I'd say 75, 80 yards.
Oh, yeah, easy. They seen it and continued to the safeties got too wide. We were taught in high school to be on the hash marks. They got wider than the hash marks and hit Biffle right down the middle.
And those of you that'll be able to replay that on YouTube, that kid has some jets.
He took off.
I mean, he separated himself from everyone. He absolutely separated himself. The kick by Elliott. This one's almost blocked, but it does go through. So as you come out of halftime, can we assume that was something they saw and that was a halftime?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, they had been baiting that. They had seen it. They even tried it once.
They did. They had the seam pass that Brody Schmidt missed. Yeah, you're right.
And, they set in, little inside seam. Safeties were, like I said, they were almost at the numbers and just hit it right down the middle.
So we will have to go to the rules where the clock will run at this point as we're up 34-0.
I believe the coaches hollered up here about running clock.
Yeah. Is it really 34? I mean, haven't we hit all of our PATs?
It was 28-0 before they scored,
yeah,
right?
I thought we made that one. Well,
so it should be 35.
Either way, we're happy for the Dayton Christian Warriors on that score. Coming out of halftime, feels pretty good about it.
1 point each, 1 more point. It must be 35. Huh? It's 30.
No. The score is 35-0. No, the actual score is 35-0. There we go. Now we got it. Hank's got it now.
Yeah, there we go.
He's on it now. Yeah. He just wanted to keep it a little bit closer.
Yeah,
that's right. So as Dayton Christian kicks off, that's Newton. Sweeps the leg, and the ball's loose, but it's brought out by Livesley. Livesley with another return. This one's going to be shorter than the normal returns that he does, and that's at the 32. So, Tyler, I know many people have been waiting. As I said, there would be a question of the game. So, again, 513-655-7438, 513-655-7438. It's an easy one. You got to tell me. You know my favorite food. I could eat it every single night, and that's pizza.
Oh, I thought he was going to make me guess. I was like, hold on a second.
No. I'm going to give you that one. So I could have pizza tonight. I could have pizza tomorrow. I had pizza yesterday. I had pizza the day before. So you got to tell me, people, what's your favorite pizza?
Ooh.
If I'm going to leave tonight's contest and I'm going to stop on the way from here to my home in the country, I'm going to pass a ton of pizza places, maybe even some I don't even know about, as the Lions take the ball to, I would say, number 8 on the play. That's our friend Artizzoni. Artizzoni, yeah. So Artizzoni with the carry. So I've got lots of options. What's it going to be, people? What's your favorite pizza out there? Again, 513-655-7438. Maybe tell me about a place I don't know about. Who are they sleeping on, Tyler?
Yeah.
What's the place?
We always need a good pizza place.
Absolutely.
That you don't know about.
Would love to have some right after this game, as I'm sure the Dayton Christian Warriors and the Lions would love a good hot pizza afterwards. So a nice slip by Cameron. He tries to throw across his body, almost intercepted by Hess. Meant for number 12 on the play, and that was Judah Walters.
Yeah, good pocket presence there by the freshman quarterback that came into play there, number 11, Will Cameron. Just got across his body and lost some zip on the ball there.
Another freshman representing varsity time, so a lot of these young kids getting lots of times early in the season here. Trips to the left, single receiver to the right. Asa Crocker with the pressure outside.
Ooh, good pass.
Nice pass. Artizzoni goes outside. It looks like there is going to be a flag on the play. Potentially the receiver that was trying to block for Artizzoni is going to be penalized there for holding.
I was just going to mention, I was wondering when they were going to come to this short side of the field with the single receiver, because they haven't went that way all night. I mean, they went to the trip side every time. And they attacked it there, but unfortunately got a little grabby on the jersey there.
So let's send a shout out to Eli Queen's uncle in Gallipolis, Ohio. We know where that's at.
That's
Gallipolis,
right.
Ohio. Absolutely.
I speed through there a lot of times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So we appreciate him checking in, and Eli doing a wonderful job as the screen is blown up by Caden Shepard. Nice job by Caden Shepard. I tell you, Caden Shepard and Kai Millard look a little similar. One's 6, one's 5,
right.
and they have a similar build as far as height. So you gotta take a double take on that look of who's making the play. But that one was a nice play behind the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 4th down and 7.
I'm smelling a fake. Maybe.
So Hans Eriksson with the snap over to the right. Almost blocked. Was able to get that. Another nice bounce. Shepard gets out of the way. You know, that does the job right there, putting the field flipped to the 25, where Dayton Christian's going to have to reset the offense. Now they came out, scored in their first possession of the second half. It is a running clock at this point, ladies and gentlemen. 30 points or more is going to be a running clock in the second half until it drops below that total.
Who do you bring out as quarterback?
I want to see Liam Hartman. Now, it looks like it's going to be Cam Hartman, right? So I think they're going to let him get another series in. I would have to think at some point they'll make a decision to get somebody else a couple snaps here. So
You say start the time, but hey, Coach, we don't start until the guy waves his arm.
So we're on a first down run there.
I was surprised to see that they didn't go back to the seam route.
All right, so Tiffany Veal checking in, watching from home. We appreciate that. One of our counselors at the high school, so we appreciate her. Oh, okay, can't go wrong. I was there last night. Bruce is going to give his vote to La Rosa's. Pass by Hartman to Biffle. He makes one person miss. He starts to break loose, changes hands, drops down at the 47. Almost broke that one off again.
Yeah, good run there. taking it back to the inside. Good read by Cam Hartman there. Good game. Good game.
All right, so let's give you your vote there. So Bruce is in for a La Rosa's. Tyler, your pizza choice is going to be?
I would have to go with, and this has been a new discovered fave. Is it Two Cities?
Two
pizza?
Cities. Fantastic. Two Cities in Mason.
Ooh.
Excellent pizza.
If I had the time, I would drive
Yes.
tonight to get it, but they have a long wait because they're good.
Yes. So Hartman with the pull. He's going to take
Ooh.
on a defender. It looked like for a second that the ball had come loose, but he came down with it. He's going to reset the offense there at the 50-yard line.
That's that little run pass option. He was attacking the line, seeing if they collapse on him or if they collapse on the flat route.
This time dropped his shoulder and just got him a yard or two. So 2nd and 8, right at the 50-yard line. As the offense resets, I'll throw my 2 cents in. It's got to be Casanos for me.
Oh,
it's got to be Casanos. Nice crispy bottom Casanos. 2x2 set. Hartman with the snap. The quick throw to Biffle, trying to look for that seamer route again. And like you said, the safeties, not only are they playing wide, they're playing off.
Yeah.
About 13 to 14 yards. Oh, we got a new one here.
That.
Pisnellos.
That's in Franklin.
Pisnellos in Franklin. Okay. I am always willing to try a new pizza place. There you go. A Warren County favorite, Bruce says. So if you're in that area, if you're in the Franklin area, you got a place to go tonight after the game. Dayton Christian, 2x2 with the snap. The fake, the throw to Caden Shepard. He makes one-man miss, weaves in and out of another, and he's going to go down for a first down at the 35-yard line. So he gets the ball back to the ref.
Catch.
Absolutely. How about a shout-out from my wonderful wife and her father listening on the couch at home, and she's going to say it's got to be a Dewey's meatball pizza, and Dewey's is fantastic.
Dewey's Pizza.
Yeah, trips right, single receiver to the left. That's Shepard. The snap gives to Coulter. He makes one-man miss. He's able to lean forward, and that's something Jacob Coulter's really good at. He is able to keep his body momentum always going forward.
Never falls back.
Uses his stature to his advantage. He gets below his pads and kind of falls forward every time, even if he's brought down close to the line of scrimmage. In that case, he was and still was able to get at least another yard or so with the lean forward. So this time, because of an equipment issue, they're going to take a timeout. And while we have time, we're going to send a shout out to our sponsor. Is your asphalt or concrete cracked, crumbling, or in need of an upgrade? We'll call the experts at the A-Team Asphalt and Concrete. Whether it's commercial or residential, big or small, our crew delivers quality craftsmanship that lasts. From fresh asphalt, paving to custom concrete, we do it all. We're reliable, professional, and guaranteed to impress. Don't wait another season. If you were planning on waiting another season, Tyler,
don't.
You should not.
Should not.
You should not wait any longer. So get your project started today with the A-Team Asphalt and Concrete. Call now, 937-774-0019, 937-774-0019, and let us pave the way to something greater. And I do want to make sure everybody understands they are a Christian company, and we want to support our brothers and sisters in Christ as they are making a good living there, pouring concrete, pouring a little asphalt. So thank you to Caleb and his team. That is going to be end of the third quarter. So as a running clock makes that third quarter go a little bit faster, Tyler, they said at halftime, here are the things we got to get out of it so far with a quarter down. How are you feeling if you're the Miami Valley Lions coach?
If I was them, honestly, I'd stay in that little, what's that offense that they were running? I hadn't seen
it was
before.
A single wing, actually.
Single wing.
Yeah, so it's a direct snap to the running back, or, call him a quarterback if you want. And the idea is that he has 10 blockers.
Yeah. I mean, I would, if you're trying to learn and trying to build on next week, it would not hurt to keep trying that. You've run it for a series or two. You honestly just won.
Yeah.
Got a couple good gains out of it, Maybe you go back to that. Maybe eat some clock. Maybe try to establish something to where next week at the next week's game, you can start out that way and eat up a whole bunch of clock, put one in the end zone, and start yourself off on the right foot.
Yeah, and I've talked to Coach Hurst about this and having coached myself, and I'm sure you're familiar with it. Sometimes you put wrinkles in, not because you plan on using them at an exorbitant amount the next week, but honestly, you just want people to waste time preparing for them.
Right, yeah.
You know, if all of a sudden we come out in a wishbone, you know, not that I'm necessarily thinking we're going to run that, but wouldn't you know, you're making the other team at least prepare, set up the defense, and then you're wasting time in practice. And I mean, that's sometimes as much of a benefit as necessarily running a separate offense. So Dayton Christian to start the fourth quarter is going to be on their own 35-yard line, 2x2. Hartman with the catch, and that is
nope.
Are they going to
hit the ground?
No, I think they're going to give him a catch. It looked like he got his hands underneath it, so it'll take it to the 30-yard line.
The coach was a little.
Yeah, he
like,
was. He was animated.
Yeah.
I was about to say the same exact thing. Something tells me that if we watch that play over again, somebody's a little more open than Mr. Schmidt was, if I'm guessing.
Yeah. I think there was something a little missed there.
Yeah, so trips to the left, single receiver to the right. Coulter, your running back, is also to the right. A couple nice runs for Coulter already this second half. Oh, starting a little early is Kane Shepard. They're going to stop this play as a false start. On number 5 is going to move the ball back just a little bit. Hartman, it looks like, has taken all but the first series, maybe. I think he's taken a majority of the snaps.
Majority, I would say probably 60% of them.
Yeah, and for the game, I would also put him at that same level, maybe 60, as high as 70% snaps.
Yeah.
So if you're Coach Hurst, is that a conversation moving forward? You know, Hartman played well. He definitely didn't play himself out of the quarterback position.
Right.
So how much does he run in the first team, and how much does Brody Schmidt? It looks like Coach Blevins making a change there at the line of scrimmage with his team. Trips left, single receiver, which is Asa Crockett, to the right. Hartman with a snap, reaches back, goes to Coulter in space. Nice open field tackle on the play.
Back to your question, you know, if you look at when Brody Schmidt was in, majority of his plays were runs, you know, where he gained a lot of them. And so the only thing you're in Hartman, most of the time he's throwing. So, I mean, if you can get Schmidt in the open field in a receiver position and play Hartman at quarterback, I think you have best of both worlds there.
And can I tell you, I am impressed with Wyatt McLean. He is a good tackler.
Oh, yeah.
He is a good tackler. He
number
is an
80.
open, number 80. He is an open field tackler. He has not let pretty much anything past him. Now, you can give up a couple yards in front of you, but as long as that guy's not breaking one down the sideline, and he is he's definitely kept his guy in check. Squaring his shoulders, like you said, able to get that ball with a little power behind it, gets all the way out to Shepard, and that's going to be a first down, moving the chains.
Very good pass, fundamental-wise there. Good spiral, hit him right in the chest.
And I watched that specifically. He squared his shoulders and allowed him to get some power behind that and got it right into his chest.
And the other thing that it opens up for quarterbacks, if you're attacking the line of scrimmage with your shoulders forward, if it ain't there, run.
Yeah.
Take off.
Yeah. You can tuck and run.
Yeah.
So a little more of a bunch set on this one. 2 receivers to the right, 2 receivers to the left, closer to the line of scrimmage. Now the fade comes to Asa Crockett, but it's going to go over his head. Definitely was there. Just a little more arc on it. So Asa gets back to the line of scrimmage. Even though he had 2 defenders, he had them in his back hip, and it was going to be green grass if he was able to bring that down. That's a pass that I'm sure Hartman wants back with a little more air underneath it. So as they reset the offense here in 2nd down and 10.
That's also one of them passes that you'll get over time. You know, you'll learn practice-wise.
Snap to Coulter. He's brought down immediately. In fact, he's going to lose a yard on the play. How about, I do have another pizza choice. How about Marion's? No, it's not you. Yeah, not feeling it. The Marions Casano's battle in Dayton is real. You know, that's St. X, St. Ed's, or maybe a little Indian Hill, Wyoming, something like that. Here we go. Snap. Hartman off the hands of Shepard, a little bit to his outside.
Yeah, I think Hartman thought he'd come in a little bit more on that route, hit the inside a little bit more, but he stayed where he was at. He sat down. Good read, though.
As the clock clips 4 minutes left in the fourth down. Apologize. 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So fourth down, and it looks like 11. So we're going to take the snap here. Is Hartman with 3 receivers to his right, single receiver to the left. That's Shepard. He rolls to his right, outside of Crockett.
That was a good ball.
He's going to turn over on downs.
One thing about Hartman, he throws a good crisp spiral.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing that I've noticed. The only time I seen him throw a duck was when it got tipped at the line.
Yeah, it's definitely has some zip on the ball.
But I think maybe Crockett, I don't know if he fell on through his break, but it's a good opportunity, but sometimes they just don't work out.
Okay, how about this? Giovanni's.
Ooh.
Wasn't that in Shawnee State area? Wasn't there a Giovanni's?
There's one in Hillsboro area.
Oh, okay.
Washington Courthouse.
Okay, Giovanni's, little southern thing. Okay, gotcha. I remember eating there once, and I think I remember it being pretty good, actually. Yeah.
They're famous for their buffets.
Okay.
Yeah.
The pass to the Lions.
Ooh, good move.
McLean, not only can he tackle, he's running, and he's making people miss. Outside. A little bit of a gain there, probably about 5 yards there. I tell you, like the kid.
Good
like
movement.
the kid.
Yeah, good effort.
Yep.
You know, even though they're down, he's still giving 100%.
That's true. Cameron, same way. The Cameron kid, he came in. He ran it as hard as he could, as fast as he could go, giving everything you got. Doesn't matter if you're down at that point, 28-0, 35-0. Give me everything you got. And McLean's going to stay in the backfield. I'm assuming they heard me compliment him and they want to give him a couple more touches. I'm assuming that's what it is. Snap to McLean again. This time, ball's bobbled a little bit. He is able to recover. Now he makes a couple people miss. 2 or 3 tackles, 4 or 5 tackles. Wow, this young man. That's one that he's going to watch back a couple times on Huddle, and that's a first down run. He ran about 27 yards to get 3 yards.
Yeah, but he shedded tacklers. Like
he did.
He must got like butter on him or something.
He did. Nice job.
Coaches are listening to the broadcast. They're taking our tips. That's what they're.
How about this? You're getting a vote for your Pizzanellos. Yeah, absolutely. From our friend Tiffany is a big fan there. So you called that one, Bruce. How about the snap? McLean gets it again. This time almost brought down, but he evades another tackle.
Who got the tackle there?
That was number 10. The Dayton Christian fans are going crazy. That's Owen Ireland, the freshman. Very excited. Everybody's excited for Mr. Ireland to get that.
Is he playing nose guard?
I believe he is actually playing nose guard, so good for him. His father, Sean, a big supporter, and 4 kids in the school.
Hey,
so good for him.
He's got guts because I don't know if I'd play that position as a freshman.
Yeah, here we go. He is lining up again. Looks like in that 1-3 technique there. So Dayton Christian coming through. Lots of pressure. The ball's tipped. Almost intercepted. It looked like Hess almost was able to bring that in, but he did knock it down in the process.
What was that pizza place called? Pizzanellos?
Pizzanellos. There you go.
My wife works in Franklin at Franklin Schools, so she don't know. She probably don't. Maybe, but she's going to have to bring some home for me now.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring some.
Yeah.
72, that's Cash Hendricks. Lots of pressure on that play by Cash. And we're at the money down, 3rd down. Let's see what Cash can do along with his counterpart, Mr. Ireland. Got hooked.
And he got
he's able to bring him down before he gets to the line to gain. That's number 14 for Asher.
If you're Miami Valley, do you go for it?
At this point, I'd say you might as well.
What do you got to lose?
Yeah, the clock is running down. In fact, it looks like we just have 3 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock. So, at this point, they'll keep the offense on the field.
Give it to 80.
Yeah, I like what I've seen out of McLean so far, for sure. And but
Oh,
Yeah.
good penetration there by
Yeah.
Dayton Christian.
Artizzoni is going to be brought down in the backfield. So that's going to be a turnover on downs. Cass Hendricks with the play. So let's see what they're talking about on offense here for Dayton Christian. Looks like Hartman still is going to lead them out from the sideline here. Putting in Kai Millar, it looks like, in the receiver position potentially.
Mm-hmm. Let some of these younger guys get some action.
Well,
here.
and he's got experience as a receiver as well. He actually moved over to the defensive side of the ball at request of the defensive coordinator. So it'll be interesting to see him get back on the offensive side of the ball and enjoy himself a little bit.
He might be running the quarterback. He's got, well, they all got wristbands. What am I talking about? Yeah.
Say we're looks like we might be running out of time here, so we'll check that back, Judge, and see if she's. So yeah, Liam is in the game. Yeah, so Hartman, who thought he was running quarterback, Cam, wouldn't give away to his brother, but eventually does. So Liam taking his snap, giving the ball out. Nice defensive stop by the Lions. So Coulter trying to break through the first three defenders, but they bring him down right at about a yard, maybe a half yard there to gain second, and we'll call it 9.
Coulter coming out, maybe?
Yep, Coulter's coming out, and into the backfield is probably McQueen. That's usually the gentleman that's going to give him a blow.
Eli Queen.
Yep. The snap to Hartman. He is passing. So it's a catch to Millar. So he gets back into the action on the offensive side right away with the catch, the reception.
Number 10, Owen Ireland into the game.
Yep. Coming out of the game is Queen, Eli Queen, replaced by Ireland. 2 minutes left. As we congratulate the Dayton Christian staff moving down to the field. Liam with the snap. He fakes. Down on the ground goes Liam Hartman. Just about a yard or so. So it's going to be 4th down and 5.
See if they continue to, maybe they give Owen Ireland a chance to run the ball. Playing nose guard, give him a little chance.
Yeah, I like it. It's definitely not a problem with toughness. So eating up a little more of that clock before they're going to snap the ball here. Hartman with a snap. It does go to Ireland. Brought down immediately by the Lions defense. Number 74, the defense, that was Zach Holland.
43 seconds remaining.
And that's a turnover on down for Dayton Christian. So here you go, 40 seconds left. We'll let the clock play out and also the game coverage play out. Tyler, tell me a little bit about what Dayton Christian needs to do as they go to Madison next week.
You know, I think they've kind of established their, in my opinion, their offensive identity, you know, with both two quarterback system, being able to have Cam Hartman out there along with Brody Schmidt, being able to gain a lot of yards with both of them. So I think that is a positive thing. And if I was Coach Hurst, I would continue building on that. Make Madison prepare for both guys. Make Madison respect both guys and understand that they don't know what they're going to get because both guys can play that spot.
Absolutely. That makes sense. So when you finish this broadcast, we want you to turn immediately over to the YouTube channel DCS Athletics for our post-game interview. Bruce Horseman doing a great job on our camera work tonight as Cameron tries to elude the defenders. He does throw it across his body with the catch. It's going to be a first down catch, brought down number 14. And that'll be the end of the game here. Nice job by Asher Kananen. But join us at the DCS Athletics YouTube channel immediately following the end of this broadcast in just a few moments to allow for our players to kind of get up to the locker room and then back out to the field. You'll hear from Coach Hurst and a couple players. Bruce Horseman will take you home tonight. We appreciate his work at the camera. Tyler, appreciate your help with me tonight, as always. Great job. So thank you for everybody that joined us for the win for Dayton Christian as they go to 35-0 is your final score, going to 2-1 at this point, headed to Middletown Madison next week. Thank you for joining us, and as always, go Warriors.